What I'd like to do is study some of the teachings of Jesus Christ and focus basically on a little known fact, and that is he is the one who instructed us on the way. You know, I really am not interested in what Mr. Falwell has to say or what Mr. Orwell has to say. I'm not interested in those people. I am interested, and I'm trying to get you interested in what Jesus Christ has to say, because what Jesus Christ has to say is diametrically opposed to what they have to say. But in this particular case, Jesus is talking to us in John chapter 14 on page 880 in those little Bibles. In John chapter 14, and Jesus is talking about the way, and he says in John chapter 14:4, "And where I go, you know, and the way you know." Now, I would ask those who claim to be followers of the Lord, born again, he says that you know the way. Do you know the way? He says you know the way. He didn't say you should know the way. He said you know the way. He taught the way. And this is the difference. Jesus then, since he taught the way, would think that some people would have caught on to the way. And that's the point he's making here. You know the way, because you've been hanging around me. You know the way, because you've listened to me. And you who have claimed to have studied the Bible should know the way, because they got Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and he talks about the way throughout the entire Bible. So what does he say is the way? First of all, go to page. Now, we're going to run through some of the things that you've seen before, but once again, it's important that you document everything. You know? And I'll repeat, because it's a new crowd on the television. Lynn Sylvia came to me last week, and she said that somebody got upset with me because I said Jesus' name was not Jesus. And the woman said, what right does he have to say that? That's a horrible thing to say. So I gave Lynn Sylvia a page from a Christian dictionary, the Illustrated Christian Bible Dictionary, and it says in there his name was not Jesus, his name was Jeheshua, that Jesus is a Greek name. Well, this fractures entirely the foundation of a religion that prays in Jesus' name, because they made up the name out of Greek mythology. That's where it came from. I'll say, well, somebody said, well, it doesn't make any difference because, in spirit we know it's the same person. But I said, wait a minute. Wonder if the Creator gave him the name Jeheshua, and the name Jeheshua was some kind of a magic name, and every time you said Jeheshua, something beautiful happened. And you changed it. And he gave him a Greek name. And the reason he gave him a Greek name is because he couldn't deal with his Jewishness. Come on. Because the Christian church was founded on anti-Semitism. That's why you celebrate in a few weeks bunnies and eggs and jelly beans, because you couldn't deal with Passover. So they made it up. So you have the Babylonian day of sexual fantasy, prostitution, orgasms, all of that stuff. But yeah, they should have saint orgasms, because that's what it is. It is Easter. It is a day of pornographic sex, and that's our holy day. We're going to celebrate in a few days. Is this great? Because why? Can't deal with Passover. Why not? Well, it's Jewish. Can't have anything Jewish. So they take the whole thing, and then you have a religious minister who changes the guy's name from a Jew Jeheshua to a Greek Jesus, takes Passover out and replaces it with Easter bunnies and jelly beans, and then quotes the book of Leviticus. Is this a hypocrite? Come on. So Jesus says, what is the way? Go to page 782. We'll do our Bible trip real quick. Matthew chapter 7 and verse 14. Matthew chapter 7, verse 14, what's the first thing Jesus says? The straight is the gate, and narrow is the way, and few there are who find it. How true that is. Because when you have found it, you're not considered a Christian, you are considered a cult. See? That's what happens. Now, the way to what? The way to the kingdom. Okay? The way to the kingdom. This is what we want to find. Okay, real quick, page 853. And I know that a lot of you have done this time and time again, but still, it's important to see it. That's what we're doing. We're exercising through the Bible and through Jesus Christ's teachings, which are so important for our lives. He says in Luke 17, verse 21, the kingdom is in you. But narrow is the way. Few there are who find out that the kingdom is inside of themselves. I'm not quoting a religious teacher or an evangelist. I'm quoting Jesus Christ.